As more and more Olympic athletes arrive in Rio, there are more and more instances of violence and attacks against them. The latest example is a runner, a hurdler to be exact, a Chinese hurdler by the name of Shi Dongpeng. And he was allegedly victimized by this elaborate plot to rob him of, technology that he was traveling with. He had a cameraman with him. The cameraman got his stuff taken away. So how did this all come about? Apparently, as they were entering their hotel, they were approached by a man who appeared to be drunk. He then proceeded to vomit on Shi. The man vomited.
Jesus.
Yep. The man vomited on Shi, who went to clean himself up while the cameraman chased the man out of the hotel, the man who threw up on him. So when they returned, all the cameraman's equipment had been stolen, as well as baggage belonging to both men. The pair then went to a local police station to report the crime, only to have to wait for 2 hours due to a long queue of other mugging victims. And by the way, I'm going to outline a few other examples of Olympians who have been violently attacked. But this is just, again, the latest example. And before you jump in, Cenk, I just want to say, I never really have interest in those fear-mongering stories. Every time the Olympics come around, they always choose questionable places to do the Olympics, I feel like. There's always stories that seem a little extreme and exaggerated. But the situation in Rio does not sound exaggerated, especially when you look at all the other instances of Olympians getting attacked.
Yep. So, yeah, I know, like that dangerous place, Utah, where they had the Olympics. Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Okay, scary stuff. So now in this case, I thought she was just having a bad day, that he had somebody accidentally vomited on him, and then he got mugged coincidentally on the same day. No, it turns out it's part of a scam. And I thought, shit. So, I mean, that's a hell of a scam where somebody's like, oh, I'll go vomit on him, and then you take his stuff, okay? And look, I'm going to make a larger point here. Let me get all liberal on you. There's tremendous poverty in Rio, and it has been left largely unaddressed. And so I don't want people to take this the wrong way. It never justifies robbery. It never justifies taking other people's property. I'm just telling you cause and effect. And so when things get real bad, people resort to robbing other people. So that happens every time there's this kind of tremendous poverty. So it's not a good thing. It's a terrible thing. I hope that we can eradicate it, et cetera, et cetera. So it doesn't help anyone to have tremendous income inequality. And boy, in Rio, they have, record-breaking income inequality. And so this is some of the perverse consequences of that. And so we shouldn't be overly surprised. So how do they fix it now? The answer isn't, okay, well, we had a little bit of trouble now, so let's overreact and let's go kick some ass. No, the answer is to fix the underlying problem.
The people who did this should get caught, and they should face the consequences for it 100%. But I think this is a cautionary tale more than anything, not just for people living in Rio. They're already living, the downsides of inequality. But you have more and more countries that are headed in that direction, and there is a continuing trend in the United States. Now, obviously, it's not as bad in the U.S. as it is in Rio yet, but if we continue allowing the system that we have in place now, I have no doubt that income inequality is going to be exacerbated in the future. It's insane because I'm starting to see it more and more in Los Angeles, right? Now, LA always had a problem with homelessness, especially in Skid Row. You drive through Skid Row and it's just blocks and blocks and blocks of homeless people living in tents. They have their tents up and they're living there. And, for a while, it seemed like, for the most part, the homeless population was concentrated there. But no, now I see it everywhere. I'm seeing tents popping up in West Hollywood, in Hollywood. The homeless population in Hollywood is exploding right now. And so I don't know what I do know what the solution is, but we need to fix it immediately because rich people can't build moats around their houses. Yeah. Pretty soon it's going to be affecting them, and they're not going to like it.
It's funny you say that, Anna. Just yesterday, totally unrelated, having a conversation with a friend from New York. He's like, the homeless situation in New York all of a sudden has gotten out of control. And it's not like the homeless situation in New York was pleasant before. And we were just in Philly, out of control in Philly. San Francisco, totally out of control. So you've got to address the underlying problem. You can't just think, oh, they're homeless. Okay, let's put them somewhere else. No, we've got to fix the real problem here.
I do want to give you a few other examples of Olympians getting attacked. So New Zealand jiu-jitsu athlete Jason Lee claimed earlier this week that he had been kidnapped by fake police officers who forced him to withdraw money from 2 cash machines. Now, the cops in Rio say that they've caught the perpetrators and they're facing criminal charges. So, hopefully justice will be served in that case.
Why didn't he just jiu-jitsu them and have them withdraw money from their cash machine and give it to him?
Smart idea. Except if you think they're cops, then you're kind of screwed, right?
I know, but I was just making a jiu-jitsu joke.
It was good. It was great. Great
Okay.
joke. Other incidents have included 6-time Paralympian of Australia being robbed at gunpoint close to the Guanabara Bay sailing venue. And
Say
also,
that again.
no,
That was fun.
by the way, this is the most insane story because there are virtually no news articles about it. I found a few articles that were written in Portuguese, and I had to Google translate them to know more about this person. But Brazilian shooting team member Ana Paula Cota was also shot in the head at an attempted mugging in North Rio de Janeiro last month. So she miraculously survived, but of course she nearly lost her life after getting shot in the head.
Yeah. No, this Olympics has been a disaster.